PYX 106.
It's 1-800-LAW-1010, 1-800-LAW-1010.com. Who do you call when you want to find out what kind of sentence an idiot's going to get? Paul knows.
From Martin Harding and Mazzotti, it's Paul Harding. Paul, the story out of Westerlo where the guy posted on Facebook he had some weed to sell, and he ended up selling it, or at least attempting to sell it, to a confidential informant or an undercover cop, one or the other. Well, I mean, there's not a lot to talk about except what's going to happen to this kid.
Yeah.
Well, he sort of jumped the gun, right? I think he's reading all this potential of legalizing marijuana, and he thought, wow, maybe I missed something. Maybe I can go out and do it now. And you can't. So, yeah, he wasn't just, he was caught with 6 pounds, and so you start getting into the pound thing, and things start getting pretty serious, and you get people's attention.
6 pounds. That's a lot of marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
What's this kid do with 6 pounds?
Selling it, trying to.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and historically, when they find someone with that amount, they just try to go up the chain. Like, where did you get it from? He probably doesn't have he's not growing in his house. He's getting it from another distributor. So we'll see. I mean, it made the news, but and no one's going to get near him in terms of any of his distributors or things. But ultimately, yeah, he's got some serious problems.
I mean, what if he doesn't, help out the cops or whatever? It was just a straight arrest. I mean,
worst case scenario.
Would he go to jail?
Pounds.
He'd go to jail for that?
He'll go to jail, and they're going to potentially state jail, which means he's in jail for more than 1 year. So we'll see what happens, and again, it depends on what he ends up doing. If he doesn't go to jail, then one just has to assume that he's done something to help, to curb the problem. But when I look at this, and I think that, again, I first read the article initially, and I thought, oh, maybe there's just some kid in Westerlo who sort of, missed the boat on this marijuana legalization thing.
Right.
But we have to think of marijuana like we do alcohol. Even when it passes, and by all indications there's going to be some passage here in New York, it's still going to be illegal to use or to purchase under the age of 21.
Unless it's in a red Solo cup.
Right.
No, under 21, You're right. The kid's
under 21.
Exactly.
Under 21, yeah.
Yeah, and you can need a license. You need a license to grow and to sell it. And, you can't take it in public. And so if you look at the way the rule, you can't even, believe it or not, in New York State, you cannot even distill your own liquor. Even if you give it away, you say, wait, I know all these people that do that. Well, technically, that's a violation of the law. So it's not going to be this open season, a new industry for anyone roaming around the capital district.
It's still going to be heavily regulated. It's the same reason, I think, at least according to the movies, cigarettes have stamps on them.
Right.
Right? You can't just roll and sell your own cigarettes.
Exactly. There's markings, there's skill codes. But
you've been doing this a long time, Paul. Did seeing that guy who tried to sell weed on Facebook, does that even surprise you anymore?
Well, I guess, it's the Facebook part surprises me. I know that this stuff's still going on, and so, the cavalier approach to saying, listen, I got some weed here. I think he thought it was maybe just going out to his friends, right? But we forget in Facebook that kind of goes out to the general public. So it's a surprise, but just kind of this public. He's really saying, I'm here. I've got weed. If you want to come check it out.
You have 6 pounds of weed. You go to prison.
And then, if he was your client, would you advise him to shut down his Facebook page? Because right now on his Facebook page, they're making meth jokes.
Oh, that's hilarious.
On his page. I would shut that down if I was him.
Yeah, we run into that all the time. Yeah, they need to shut down social media completely and turn it off and not respond. Sometimes they even respond, so then
right.
More
Isn't it a good source to keep open, too? In case they are looking for the guy that he got the 6 pounds of weed from.
Yeah, no, all that stuff. Yeah. So, but again, oftentimes, sometimes in movies they depict these criminals who are masterminds. Ultimately, most of the folks doing this don't qualify in that category.
And then just to follow up on something we talked about a couple of weeks ago, I read yesterday the governor has abandoned the stretch limo law. So making those stretches illegal, I guess, is not going to happen.
Really?
That's what I think I read yesterday.
Who's the lobbying company against that?
It was a little far, I think it was a little far-reaching to get rid of all stretch limos. What they need to do, of course, is regulate the ones that are there. And this tragedy could have been avoided. That car should not have been on the road, and therefore there's going to be legislation. Just the absolute banning of all just didn't add up. It was a little too much.
Well, thank you, Paul. We
Yeah,
appreciate it, my friend. Go see the girl eating a 15-pound lobster at our page, Paul. You're going to love it.
I will do
19
it.
minutes worth.
Paul Harding from Martin Harding and Mazzotti. Thanks, Paul.
1-800-LAW-1010, 1-800-LAW-1010.com.
Stick around. Peter Frampton tickets up next.
What's up, there?
Gwen and Cantera on PYX 106.